to another awesome episode of our Staycation Summer Series, where we explore New Brunswick through the eyes of other New Brunswickers. I'm Tosh Taylor of the Podcast Hub.
And I'm Jenna Morton of Pickle Planet. And we have been all over the province virtually this summer, inviting guests onto the show to share what they love about their hometowns.
So we've chatted with Elena Lockhart about Sussex and Fundy, the mayor of Miramichi, Campobello Sea Glass Festival organizer Stephanie Anthony, and so many more amazing guests. Be sure to go back and check out those episodes in case you've missed them.
But first, we want you to settle in for a tour of the province like no other. Today's guest is Jason Gallant, and he is the man behind the social media hub City Foodies. He and his family just completed an epic 2-week, 1,700 kilometer, nearly a dozen brewery distillery stops filled with just like the most mouth-watering food you will see on the internet, and it's all right here in our backyard. And Jason is here to tell us all about it. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks, guys. This is great.
I was just absolutely floored by your adventure for so many reasons. But first, I want to know what made you decide to do this?
You know what? It's been a couple of years where the family, we've been trying to keep our vacations a little bit local to stay in New Brunswick. This year, we got 2 weeks off. Normally, we would go to, Nova Scotia or maybe Quebec. Or the States, depending on what's going on. But this year we have 2 weeks. Let's just do the whole darn province in 2 weeks. So through the like you said, Hub City Foodies, I thought let's bring everyone along with us and hopefully inspire other people to get out and visit the amazing province that we have.
Awesome. I want to start you before we get too far. Can you explain what Hub City Foodies is? Because you have not been quiet during the pandemic. You have been doing epic fun stuff with everybody in Moncton. So maybe just a quick explanation of who you are.
Yeah, for sure. So like you said, I'm the guy behind Hub City Foodies. There's no team. It's just me by myself doing this. So I really started Hub City Foodies to help promote the amazing local products, restaurants, chefs, breweries, wineries that we have in our amazing city. So in the past, I've been doing a lot of that stuff through events with restaurants and chefs. We did like beer tours and bus tours to different breweries and wineries and some downtown crawls to get people to know the great restaurants that we have downtown. Obviously, during the pandemic, those are things that we just can't do anymore. I had the opportunity to team up with Matt Pennell, and we did these COVID challenges for a few weeks while people were at home, where we got people to make different recipes. So every Saturday would be like a different themes. So we had burger themes, we had pizza themes, and it all went incredible. We had so much great feedback, and Matt and I had a blast doing it. So that's really what's been going on with us.
And then you took it on the road.
Took it on the road.
So tell me a little bit about planning this trip. Was this something, because you did this with your family, you have yourself, your partner, your daughters, and was this a lot of planning in advance, or was it a bit spontaneous?
A little bit of both, I think. So we decided, I think, in the middle of June, this is what we wanted to do. So I did reach out we have a closed group on Hub City Foodies, and I showed them the map, and I was like, this is where we want to go. And I asked people to kind of share what destinations, what food places, what breweries, where should we stop along the way. So that really helped guide our trip this time around. But it is a little bit of work, and I'll be honest, it was super busy. So it was a vacation, but it was a little hectic at times because we're like, go every day. But we still got some great family vacation time, and we got to spend some time at the beach, and we still had a great time.
Yeah, because you're feeding three meals a day, so that's a lot of stops.
Well, and a lot of campfire stuff too. That's a whole episode on its own. But what you managed to do in a campground just blows me away. Because we went camping for our first time, and I'm like, we bought some hot dogs and some hamburgers. That's all I can do. They're not hamburgers that would win your challenge.
These are one of our best times as a family is cooking on the fire. So it's something that's kind of a tradition we've done for quite some time. So even the kids do these mussels on the fire sometimes, which is delicious. But yeah, we did some steaks a couple nights. Kind of a cool story. We do a fish chowder on the fire all the time. So it's kind of a tradition when we go camping as well. And so we're making this in Edmundston, and we're just kind of doing the thing, and we got our bowls, we're eating it. And as I was cooking, I was looking over to our neighbors next to us, and they just kept kind of peeking back at us going, what are they doing over there? So on my RV, I have my big logo on there that says Hub City Foodies. So I had walked over once we were done, and I said, listen, guys, I don't know if you're hungry, but I've got a ton of fish chowder if you guys are hungry. So the guy burst out laughing. He was in the middle of writing up a message on my Hub City Foodies page to say, I'm your neighbor. It smells delicious. Can I have some? So that was kind of cool. So I got to meet them. We got to chat, and it was a really cool experience.
That
That's
is
amazing.
really neat. Yeah, absolutely. So you did some amazing meals on your own, but what do you classify maybe as the best surprise meal on the trip too? Where do you think that was the best?
So the coolest experience we had, so we went up to Caracat. We went to Paquetvis. We have the distillery Fils du Roi. So we know the owners, Sébastien and Rosa, quite well. So we did a big tour of their distillery, and then we invited them back to our campsite that night for foods, thinking I was going to make all this delicious food for them. So they came up with the best surprise. They brought a local chef, Rodolfo. He's from Mexico originally. He's been here for quite some time, but he came and made these authentic, just mouth-watering, delicious tacos for us, and we had that. So that was pretty special. So along with that, Sébastien had brought some of his great beer, and it was just an amazing night to just chat with them. So they're Rodolfo's looking to open a restaurant in Caracat, so it'll be kind of an authentic Mexican restaurant with some other flavors in there as well. So that was probably the coolest experience we had.
That's fantastic.
Easily.
And when you were in Caracat, you were at Colibri-sur-la-Mer?
Yeah.
Is that where you camping? Yeah. We pulled in there.
Okay.
Funny story, because it was not the campsite I was supposed to pull into. But man, that place was beautiful. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. What a fantastic place.
The sunsets every night there were just gorgeous. We went down to the beach every night we were there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So the restaurant that Rodolfo's trying to do is right at the top of that. It'll be in his house right at the top of that campground.
Oh, fantastic. Next year's trip planned.
Like, we need to talk to more people in Caracat.
Oh, it was amazing. The other place that I noticed that you went in Caracat, because I didn't intentionally follow you, but it ended up for a little bit
like
we were.
But I'm okay.
Well, no, if I had planned it, if I was doing, I would have been that trailer next to you going, oh, I smell some fish chatter. But in Miscou Island.
Yes.
Yes. Was it the lobster humidor that you got there that you have the picture of?
It's the stuffed lobster, yeah. So if you go,
Lobster.
so Miscou, if you don't know the map, is kind of the tippy top of New Brunswick. So it's kind of the easternmost spot in New Brunswick. We're going to have this awesome lighthouse that's been there for 150 years. But just as you come over the bridge to get onto Miscou, there's this restaurant called La Terrace Steve. So I heard so much about this place, and it kind of surprised me quite a bit, because when you think seafood in New Brunswick, you think fried food, which is great. I absolutely love it. But this was not. Everything was fresh. Like I had the stuffed lobster, a salad, French fries. I don't even think was on the.
No, not on the menu. My children were not happy with me.
We had a discussion about that too with the kids. And my dad is severely allergic to shellfish, so he had to get the bowl of spaghetti, which is. But that's okay. We all had a great time. And the view, obviously, from that restaurant, because you're sitting right on the water, is absolutely gorgeous.
And I got a lot of response from people who noticed that when you get shrimp there, you get like shrimp in their shell, like
Right.
not like anything you see anywhere else that you go and order shrimp on the menu. And my daughter was kind of like, that's that they have eggs on them. What are they? It's because she ordered it. She loves them.
That's great.
She was a little hard sell on still in the shell part, but we ate them.
Awesome.
I think that's a good question to bring up, though, because you mentioned your daughters were with you. Do your kids openly eat whatever? Like, are they super awesome for eating any kind of whatever you're cooking up?
You know what? My oldest is pretty open to stuff. So Jovia will eat pretty much anything. Like we started cooking together quite a bit over COVID. We started doing a lot of Asian meals, which she absolutely loves to do, and we love making. My youngest is we're still getting there. So she's still the kind of chicken nuggets and fries at the restaurant. So, and that's fine. She'll get there. She started eating a couple of curries that I made. So if we do like butter chicken, she'll eat that. So we're getting there.
Okay. One step at a time, as long as there's chicken fingers and fries. Yeah.
So we don't want to give away all the secrets of the fantastic places you stopped, because people can go to your social media and we'll share those channels so that they can go check out your photos and your reviews of places. There was one more though that stood out for me. That was a surprise that I did not know we had in New Brunswick, and that was the burger done up in a donut as the bun.
Right.
Where was that?
That's at King West Rustico, and that's in Fredericton. So I was really going there for the brewery. So they're a very micro brewery. They don't sell the beer outside of their restaurant. I think they do a couple of restaurants nearby, but it's really just for them. So that's what I was there for. But then you look on the menu and you see a donut burger, and you're like, well, this is why I'm here. This is life now. This is so you have to imagine how amazing this was when you have that sweet of the donut and then the savory, and of course it's got bacon in there. Absolutely delicious. It was great. And the kids they have the big oven, fire oven, so the kids had pizza there, which was great too. So yeah, that's a definite stop if you're in Fredericton.
Fredericton, I just went this past weekend and was super shocked. Did you guys pop into the Shake Shed? There they make these crazy milkshakes that actually have like a piece of cheesecake on top, or a piece of birthday cake. It was insanity. Like a good insanity, but holy moly, I just one of my friends had said, go down, you have to, if you're going to Fredericton and one stop only, you have to go to the Shake Shed. And she was not wrong. Yeah.
No, I can imagine. That sounds amazing. I'll have to go next time for sure.
You definitely will. So was that burger your most liked picture while you were gone? What do you think was the meal that your followers liked the most?
I think that was one. I think the Teresa Steve was pretty good. When you have a picture of a lobster, it always does quite well on social media. But yeah, probably those two for sure.
Yeah, those were ones that jumped out to me for sure when I was, and I think with the Teresa Steve, it was mostly because it was like, oh, I recognize that table.
Yeah.
Like lobster, I know what a lobster looks like. But yeah, that table, that place really is something else. It's an experience.
Follow the stories on Hub City Foodies. It's gone now, obviously, but you see that I wrote Hub City Foodies on the table, and that's okay. I wasn't vandalizing anything. They actually give you the marker and let you.
I did the same. Yeah. There's a table that has Pickle Plate at Moncton on it too now.
I have to go back.
Yeah. You guys can go next year and switch up each other's tables. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm wondering, Jason, what did you kind of take away from this? Aside from the food and the breweries and just the amazing culinary experiences we have here, what did you take away from this trip as a New Brunswicker?
Just how gorgeous it is. It's crazy beautiful. I was laughing thinking, I think we have sand in our RV from 4 different beaches. Because we did New River Beach, we did obviously up north, we did Carrick Bathurst, we did Miramichi River. Just amazing. The one spot that really stood out to me was right at the beginning, because we went to Sussex, and I had heard about the Sussex Bluff and that trail, and I've never done it. So that was the first stop we did in the afternoon. And my God, when you get up there and it's like your eyes can't even comprehend what you're seeing. It's just so amazing. So yeah, the views, I think that people, I know we get the saying that New Brunswickers are the nicest people in the world. It's true, but you really see it when you go out and visit these small towns. One of the beaches we went to in Grand House, I had a double motive. There's a canteen there that sells really good fried food, so I wanted to go there. But I did take the kids to the beach, so it was kind of a double. But when we're there, so we have an RV that's about 30-some feet long, and it's really hard to pull in and out of parking lots. So we get there and we're kind of ready to order the food, and we see the sign that says it's cash only, and we're like, oh man, I don't have any cash on me. Why doesn't? So we're kind of talking back and forth what we're going to do. The kids are starving, and this guy on the side is kind of listening into our conversation. He says, oh, well, he said there's a bank machine just up the road. I say, yeah, I know, but I don't know the parking lot's big enough. He says, you know what? Here's my keys. Just take my car and go off the street, go to the bank. I'm like, oh man, I can't take your car. But I said, well, I'll hop in with you and take a drive up to the bank. So he took me up. We went to the bank machine. I got my money and I got my food.
Unbelievable.
I'm like, because I'm that type. I'm like, I was expecting you to say he offered me a ride. I'm like, he offered you his car.
He's out of his pants going, here you go, just take the car.
Just take the car.
Man, that's amazing.
That's too cool. That's too cool. So if you had to pick one spot in the province to tell all of our listeners to go to now, what would you pick? Where's the number one spot?
That's a tough one.
I know.
Like picking your favorite kid. I don't know. I think like St. Andrews is one that sticks out quite a bit. I think everyone knows St. Andrews is beautiful, but the Kingsbury Garden is amazing if you've never been. And in there we have the restaurant from Chef Alex Hahn, Savor the Garden, which is literally you're eating the garden. So if you've never been to his restaurant, he literally goes out every morning. And Alex has been at that restaurant for, I think he started when he was 12, washing dishes. His dad helped build the gardens when they were building it a long time ago. So he helped and he kind of worked his way up, and now he kind of runs the whole restaurant. But Alex, because he's been in the garden for so long, he knows where every little mushroom is, where all the greatest herbs are. So every day he goes out and picks his herbs, his mushrooms for the day. And as a foodie, that to me is amazing. When you know the food that you're eating you're looking out at the garden and that's where it came from. It's pretty darn special. So St. Andrews is obviously nice. Up north, I think I need to go spend some more time. Like Caracat is absolutely gorgeous. I'm Acadian, so it's really nice to see the Acadian stuff around there. So those two spots are kind of what stood out the most for us.
Yeah, I have to agree. Having just been to Caracat for the first time, it was just, I had pretty high expectations and it blew me away. It was amazing on every front.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been a lovely conversation, and now I'm starving.
I know.
So
like whatever I make is not going to live up to this conversation.
yeah. Oh no, definitely not. You know what I love about it, Jason, too, is that like you actually have gone and you've learned about these people as well, right? Like you're getting the whole story of Alex and of the chef in Caracat. Like that to me, it makes the meal that much better too, right?
For sure, 100%. That was the positive side. The sad side of one of the stories we had is one of our favorite campgrounds is Yogi Bear in Woodstock. We try to go every year if we can, and the kids have always loved it there. We pulled into this campground, and I wasn't even sure if it was open. The place was empty. So they depend so heavily on the traffic from Quebec and Ontario and from the States that just kind of, it's a great stopping point in the middle of the province to have one nighter. It's just a great park, and it was empty. So I did my best on social media to kind of help get people to go out and visit this place. We had a long chat with the owner, Peter. He came over and talked to us for quite some time. He's owned the place for 39 years with his wife, and he's never ever seen anything obviously like this before. So they had to make some really tough decisions. They closed all their washrooms, and that kind of eliminates a lot of the tenters and the people with just the smaller RVs that don't have washrooms in it. But they kind of bit the bullet. So that was the sad side. I didn't really see too much of that across the province, except that one hit me pretty hard.
Especially because you'd seen it before.
Well, yeah, and it's such an iconic.
Yeah.
It's such an iconic campground. You know, we've done that. I've done that drive so many times, and always you see it and you're like, oh, that looks like it would be a fantastic place for families to stop. And it's just that usually we're not stopping because we're going somewhere else, but you can tell that, you know, yeah, usually that place is packed.
It is always packed. Yeah. So it was, like I said, it was pretty sad to see, but I'm sure they'll come back in full force next year. And it's still a great park, and there are great people there. So it'll be good.
Well, a great chance for New Brunswickers to get in there and check it out.
Exactly.
Yeah. 100%. Okay, Jason, before we let you go, we need to tell people how to follow you on social media.
Yeah, for sure. So Hub City Foodies, I'm on Facebook, of course, and on Instagram. We do have a website, hubcityfoodies.ca. I have some stuff on there, some recipes that I have, and any of the events that we put together once we get back to the swing of things, they'll be all updated there as well.
And any more plans for at-home challenges?
No, not that one, but I am working on a pretty cool thing. Actually, I have a meeting tonight about, so we're trying to work with a local grocery store and do this kind of buy a box, give a box. So I'm working with someone that is doing a lot for families that are in need. So we're going to kind of team up with her in a grocery store where we do a box, and it includes a box of food that has recipes from local foodies or chefs in it, which you can prepare yourself. And every time someone buys a box, we'll work with them to give a box to a family that might need something.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
oh my goodness.
Pretty excited to get that one off the ground.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, well, we wish you the best of luck with that and everything, quite frankly. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Yeah, and we'll be sharing the news of that when you get all the details sorted out, because
sure.
I'll be signing up for that, because we
Awesome.
love those. Like, if someone puts all the food and the recipe in front of me, I can give it to my daughter and she'll make it.
But yeah, it's that, and it's coming from local foodies, and hopefully we'll get a local grocery store involved too, so that it's all food from New Brunswick that goes in those boxes. Plus, of course, you're giving away a box to someone that might not be as fortunate as us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. Perfect. Okay, thank you again.
Thank you so much.
It was a blast.